Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is day 30 of this 30-day Spooky Island challenge, and I haven't even started this episode and I'm already kind of sad that it's going to be done. But we still have work to do, so I can't go getting emotional just yet. And today what we're going to be doing is tackling my house. So I'm going to go ahead and head inside of Resident Services and customize the exterior. Alrighty, here we go. So I do want the exterior of it to be decently similar to the homes also in the swamp. So if you caught an earlier episode where we were customizing Sheena, Roscoe's, and Muffy's house, this will probably look decently similar. I am kind of toying with the idea though of having a different exterior color. Although that does look a little light. So maybe the move is having it match, and it doesn't look quite as good in the daylight, I think, as it does at night. So that could be part of my problem here. Maybe it's the door that's throwing me off. I don't think it was the door. Part of me does want to use this one, but I don't know if that's a mistake. Maybe what I do is use a different door for this one. Okay, that door definitely looks better with the exterior. I think I like that. Yeah, all right. We're gonna go with it. And I do like the rustic mailbox with it. Right? Yeah. I like how dilapidated it looks. Perfect. Okay, exterior done. The way he says interesting design choice always makes me think like it's a backhanded compliment, and I don't appreciate that sass, Nook. But now we're gonna go ahead and head over to the house, and I'm gonna start with the basement. Okay, so first things first, it is way too bright in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and adjust the lighting. And my concept for this area is I want it to be kind of a weird, spooky, almost lab, but I don't want to lean too science-y. I still want it to be kind of witchy. But I'm gonna use tons of the glowing moss jar shelf item. And I think that kind of helps give it a weird vibe. And it looks kind of almost like, I don't know, test subjects or like specimen-esque. It gives me those kinds of energy and a look. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting those placed as soon as I can find them. There we go. And I think I have I do have a little cockroach running around in here. I'm going to do my best to keep him alive because I actually want him running around in here. So for the time being, I might make it just a little bit lighter so that I can actually see him and not accidentally squash him. Okay, and I want it to be a little hard to move around in here. I am not actually intending on anybody coming to the back shelves or anything like that. But if you really wanted to, I do want to make sure there's a semblance of a room, at least where you can enter. Okay. He lives I don't know why I've decided the cockroach is a he. For some reason, that just feels right. Okay, yeah, I think that's enough room. It's at least one tile. You could probably sideways step into it. He's making me nervous right there. Okay, so I'm just gonna put one down for now. And I also don't want it to look too organized, so that's why I'm kind of going in this weird pattern. Okay, I think that looks good. He's all safe and sound in the back. And then now I want to place a couple of jail bars towards the front, like giving the idea that you're really not supposed to be here. And similar to what I did in our entrance build, I'm gonna kind of put a miniature makeshift gate here in the front. Great, I think that looks good. Let me make sure that I can actually walk in here, and I can, perfect. Okay, so that's actually it for the main decorating items. So now I'm gonna come in with a lot of the glowing moss jar item. I want to put those kind of throughout and also on top of the shelves. No. He better come back when I exit and then come back into the room. Oh no, my little friend. Okay, well, I made it pretty far. Of course, it's a jar that did him in. Why am I kind of sad? Well, I guess now I can place items freely, so it's not the end of the world. Just being dramatic. Okay. This feels decently good and randomly placed. Now I want a little, yes, a toy centipede. Gonna have him hang out at the entrance. Perfect. Would have been great if he had a little cockroach toy to hang out with, but alas. Okay, and then now I'm going to head to the ceiling and I want to place some of this hanging glowing moss. I think maybe just like 3 or 4. And then also some of the vines and spread it out. Okay, let's see how this looks. I like it. It's weird, and I think it's good. Great. Okay, that was so efficient, other than losing our little cockroach guy. Basement is done. Okay, so now moving on to the main room. My biggest mission here is I want to close off all of the other rooms that I have going on this floor. So I think I'm gonna start, I guess, first with the flooring and the wallpaper, and then I'm gonna move to partition walls. And I want to see how it looks if I just completely line the entire room with partition walls. I think I would also like to make this room a bit smaller. I want it to look pretty cozy, and this is such a large room. So I think maybe I'll have it 3 partition walls wide, and then come through this way. Is that how I want it? or do I want it wrapping around on the outside? Well, depending on the dimensions, it may make the decision for me. So let's see. Great. That's how I'm doing it. I like it. The only downside to using the partition walls is I won't be able to hang wall decor here, but I do at least still have one wall here. So I think that's okay. And I'm planning on using some kind of tall furniture items, so hopefully that should also help. Yeah. I think this works. Okay, next I'm going to go in with my lighting again, and I do want it to have this little creaky, creepy noise soundscape. So I think that's actually good. For some reason, this room looks a lot brighter than downstairs did, but that's okay. Okay, what do I want to start with? I think I want to start with the largest items that I know I want to use and kind of get those placed on the back wall. I need to make sure these are the right simple panels, and they are perfect. So this bottom or this main room of the house, I don't want it to seem too creepy. I kind of want this space to look relatively normal. I guess that's a spectrum, but compared to the other two rooms we're going to be designing in the house, I want this to feel more just normal witchy core, I guess you could call it. And then that way the other two rooms in the house have more of an impact and feel much spookier. So I'm going to kind of divide this room into a couple different sections. I want one to be like a little study section. I want one to be for potions, and then the back half of the room, probably just like a general seating area with a little mush table, and then maybe some clutter items is my overall thought. I am really going to try to avoid using any of the skeletons down in this room as well, because to me that doesn't lean normal. I mean, I guess it is kind of normal witch core, but I really do want to try and keep it not creepy. Okay, I think this is a decent start. I'm going to go ahead and start getting some of these items placed around. I can't decide which way I want that barrel. I might leave it like that for now and then revisit at the end when I see kind of what else is going to go over here. think this bug cage is also such a great item, and I tend to kind of forget about it, but it's honestly really pretty for a bug cage. I'm impressed. Much better than the other ones. Although there is one type of bug, and I think it maybe is the grasshopper. I can't completely remember, but one that doesn't come in the plasticky looking one. I do like that one as well. Okay, I think it needs some rugs. This is looking, I mean, also definitely needs clutter items, but it's looking a little bare bones on the floor. Okay, that definitely helped. And I don't love this gap here. Plus, if you kind of twist the camera angle, less so on this side because of the partition walls, but over here you can really see the gap between the simple panels and that counter item. So I wonder if pillars would fit. I don't know if I want one or two, but they do fit at least. I think that works. Kind of makes it look like the counter may be a built-in feature. Great, I like that. Okay. Now I feel like I need tiny little filler items. And I thought about using some of these food items and kind of just turning it around so not so many labels are showing. If you squint and turn your head, I feel like ever so slightly it could look like maybe potion materials rather than mushrooms and bamboo, which is what it actually is. So I think I'm going to go with it. It's a bit of a stretch, but I think it works. I'm not sure which of these plants I'm going to end up using, so I'll plop them all down for now. And then some more books, of course. I don't know if this globe will work anywhere. It almost looks too nice. Whoa, is that on the table? Oh my gosh, I thought that would have to go on the floor. Interesting. Do I even like it? I don't like it. Goodbye. Do you like that over there? Too many open books. Take away that one. I think I like those two over this one. That container is just a little too shiny, I think. Okay, firewood for our oven. And then some bugs. I would like to use the spider model somewhere. I don't think I have anywhere yet, or maybe the pufferfish. Those are both new critter models, and I really do like them. I wonder if also a pumpkin would work anywhere. Is the green one really green? No, actually. It's kind of a mossy green-ish. Okay, it might be able to stay. We'll see. Okay, pufferfish or spider? I feel like I really want the spider to work, but I feel like it just stands up a little too high. So it might be the pufferfish. Yeah, okay. I want our little tarantula guy to be peeking out from behind the bug. And wood over by the fireplace. Okay. This little tile here needs something. Do I have any more of the toy centipedes? I do. Excellent. You can move back a square. Perfect. So now just my pumpkins. And if they don't work, it's fine. It's not the end of the world, but... Oh, maybe they're actually. Okay, that's the green one. That's the gray one. I think I'm actually gonna go green. Yeah, I like that. Yay. Is there anything else I want to add in here? It is kind of feeling pretty full. I guess that's the beauty of making the room so small. Not as much to decorate. Do I like these bottles? Those definitely work somewhere. But where do they fit? You can't go here? You can go there. Question is, do I like you there? I think that's too much of a focal point. And that just feels like there's too many things up against the wall. So maybe here was good. Yeah, okay, I like that. And that might be it for the furniture. Yeah, I think so. Okay, now we're gonna move to our one singular wall that I'm actually able to decorate in this room. And I definitely want to make sure I have the broom and dustpan item because she is a witch after all. And then plenty of the, oh, I do want one of these hanging over the door. But what I was going to say is plenty of the spider webs. I don't want to go too crazy with it since it is just one wall over here that I'm able to really maximize on these items, but a couple here and there can't hurt. And I don't know if this actually makes sense for science, but I feel like as far as decorating goes, they look best to me on either kind of by the baseboards or up by the molding. So I'm gonna go with that vibe. Okay, I like that. Now I want a couple of plant items here and there. Oh, I also want to use some of these little bug heads near our bug cage. This is an item I have never used, but for here, I feel like it really fits the vibe. Do I want all three of them? No, you're very yellow. I don't want you. I want two of these little green dudes. Great. They're so creepy. I love it. Anything else? Oh, yes. I want to use a mushroom wreath over here. Honestly, just because I think that's cute. And that might be it. Okay, let's look at the finished product here. Yeah, I don't have too much empty space. I decorated almost the entire room. Yay, I think it looks good. A good level of witchy, cluttercore, buggy, naturey. Honestly, it kind of blends together a lot of the different vibes on the island. So I think mission accomplished. Okay, and now we are gonna head upstairs for our final room. Alrighty, last but not least, the top room. So I am going to turn the lights off entirely, I think. Can I do that? Is that off? Why does that not look off? Well, that should be off. Okay, anyway. And then I want the wind sound up here. Perfect. And my thought for this top room up here is it's going to be kind of my seance room, witchy, creepy room. And I have never actually seen this wallpaper before, but I'm obsessed with it. I found it on just kind of scrolling Wikipedia, and wow, this is literally perfect. And then I have seen this one before, but never had a chance to use it, and equally as obsessed with this guy. So this flooring combo is just elite in my opinion. And because of that, I'm not going to use any rugs. I don't want to distract, and I'm probably not going to use any wall decor either, because same thing. I feel like the candles really just speak for themselves. But I'm going to start off with the center of this room, and honestly, all of the builds up here are probably not going to be anything that special. I want it to feel kind of empty, but with purpose, I guess. And right now I'm looking for a cauldron. Am I gonna find it? Apparently, there we go. And I do think I want to use this pink guy. I like it, yeah, okay. So, and then I want to have a couple of things around me here. Like books. Spell books. Is that a tiny item? It is a tiny item. Okay. And then probably a candle here as well. Might try one of each of these three and see how I feel about it. And then a log stool. Do I have a log stool? I do. Great. All right, let's rearrange this. For some reason in my head, the taller items need to go on the right-hand side, and I'm not really sure why I feel that way, but I don't know, just feels right. Although this mush log feels too short, so I don't think I like that. So, what do I want instead? I want a barrel. Barrels make everything better. Alright, let's see how that is instead. You are in my way. And I think I'm going to put this side. I know I normally do it with it in the front. I think I'm going to put it behind for this room. And books over here. And then I'm going to have the log stool right here. Nope, closer. Yep, that's better. Okay. I want this to be like my makeshift table. And then let's see which candle looks the best. That's very similar to the wall. Could be a good or a bad thing. That one's too fancy to me. I don't hate that one, but the base is wider than the log stool, so I might try and use that elsewhere in the room instead. And then more books over here. And I do want a skeleton right in the center. Perfect. Okay, so that's going to call it for the very, very center of the room. So now let's move over here. And I think this, I want a desk and a chair as kind of a study area. And I love this little vintage item series. I feel like the coloring is really cool, and I like the frame of it. So that looks good to me. And then another book. And maybe a jar, like that's what she's studying. And then more of those book stands around it. Great. And then this is a pretty tiny corner, so I may not actually do anything over here. Again, I really don't want to cover up the wallpaper too much. So let's move to this area, and I think I may just want 2 barrels with some candles on top, and maybe we'll throw in a bug or something. Maybe I'll be able to make the spider work up here. That would be great, actually. Okay. Don't think I want it up against the wall. Gonna have it coming out a little bit. That's good. Okay. And maybe... I have a feeling I'm gonna think the spider's too tall if I put it up on the barrel. I'm gonna try it anyway. Yeah. So tall. Okay, what about him down here? The stand is just so noticeable. Oh, what if I hide it behind the log stool? Does that help? Marginally, it kind of looks like he's actually behind the books. Yeah. Okay, I like that the best out of all the options so far, and honestly, I just really want to use it, so there it is. I think maybe this candle item on top of the other barrel. Then I haven't used ants or cicadas anywhere. Where did the ant go? I can't even see it. Oh, it's on the stool. Okay, well, I mean, I know it's an ant, so what was I expecting? But he's way too tiny. That guy's better. Great. You can still barely see him, actually. Would a scorpion be better? I know I wanted this room to be dark, but now it's so dark I can barely see anything, but I did that to myself. I think I actually like the cicada. Yeah, I'm gonna go with him. Okay. Is there anything else I want to add over here? Right now, the broom doesn't necessarily feel balanced. But I think on this left-hand side, I'm going to go more front heavy, so maybe that will help. So I'll move over to that first, and then we can revisit and see if it still feels off-kilter. And in this corner, I am thinking I'm going to do a lot of the wooden boxes. Surprise, surprise. It's been like a whole day since I've used them. And my idea is that remains are in those boxes. And so I'm going to have some kind of on the floor around it, some on top of it. And create a little, I guess, pile or pyramid of boxes happening over here. I don't know if I'm going to want quite that many, but so I don't have to keep going back into my pockets. Three double stacks? I think that's good. Yeah, okay. Now for the skeletons. Okay. I think I like that from that angle, but how does it look from over here? I think one of them needs to be facing you as you enter the room. Okay, I think that's good. They're all different orientations. I can't fit them on the second, not cliff, but level. Yeah, I can't. Okay, that's fine. I like that. And then now this empty space actually doesn't bother me at all. I think it's kind of necessary so this room doesn't feel too cluttered. So now back here, I may honestly just kind of keep it simple and put a couple barrels and some candles. And have just enough. All right, I like that. The wedding candle kind of peeking behind. And I might throw in one additional skeleton over here. I think that's a furniture item, not a tabletop item. It is. Great. No, I want a mossy one. Okay, now I'm going to go in and do that little trick where you can change the orientation of them. Oh no, I can't even get over there. Well, then I guess you get to move. All right, that works. Okay, let's take a spin around and see if we're maybe done actually. So there is a very small piece of the wall where there's no candles, but it's so small. I think I'd rather stick with the clean lines and not put any wall decor there. Yeah, I think it looks good. Oh my gosh. Okay. That was so much faster than I thought it was going to be. Well, this is it, guys. Day 30. So tomorrow, I would love if y'all would join me. I mean, today is the official end of the challenge, but tomorrow I will be posting the finished official island tour. And I would love if you guys would also watch that episode as well. And if you would like kind of travel along with me, I will definitely be sharing the dream address tomorrow. But until then, thank y'all so much for joining me for this 30-day Spooky Island Challenge. I had an absolute blast designing this island, getting to chat with some of you guys in the comments, and truly every like, watch, share, everything is so appreciated. So thank y'all so much, and until tomorrow, bye.